Gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you here today. I am going to read from this so I don't miss anything. To celebrate the planting of our beautiful Sakura Cherry Tree. I'm delighted we are joined by our staff, thank you everybody, and our pupils who will be singing shortly. I'm also delighted to introduce Takumi Akita, who will offer a welcome following myself, members of the governing body, Deputy Mayor of Chepstow, Councillor Rook, very welcome. Ryan Coleman, our partner community lead, and Keith and Sarah Dunn. Keith is also a member of our governing body. He also devotes his time as Honorary Consul to Japan, and Keith kindly nominated Chepstow School to be part of this important season of culture, and we thank you sir. We feel very honoured that we are the first school in Wales to receive such a beautiful gift and the symbolism attached to it of significance and importance. A number of cherry trees to be planted across Wales. Yasumasu Nagamine, the Japanese ambassador to the UK, said, "We hope that people all over Wales will help us and join in embracing this chance to deepen mutual understanding, thus helping to create an enduring legacy." Yet, the Sakura Cherry Tree project will not just represent the lasting impact of the Japan-UK season of culture, but be a wider celebration of the cordial ties between Japan, the UK, and of course Wales. Just like our relationship, these trees will grow stronger as they mature each year when they blossom. We hope they bring joy to people across Wales and remind them of the deep friendship between our two nations and people. For us at Chepstow, the symbolism around our friendship with others and sense of community is very important. We have lived through and are living through very, very testing times, as you all know. For us, and as a school, the cherry tree is a symbol of hope, new beginnings, bright future, and friendship. Thank you.
本日は大変お忙しい中、桜の植樹祭にお越しいただきありがとうございます。この度、我が校はウェールズで初めて桜を植樹する機会を賜り、大変光栄に思います。日本大使長峰康政は、この桜の植樹計画がウェールズの人々との友好を深める掛け石となることを願っています。今日の植樹祭はまだ第一歩に過ぎませんが、ゆくゆくは日本、イギリス、そしてウェールズを結ぶ絆が強まることを願っています。またさらに長峰様は、この桜の木の成長は共にウェールズの人々との交流をがさらに一層広がることを願っています。チェプストー校は地中社会の交流を大切に考えています。今は試練の時ですが、桜を希望輝く未来、そして友好関係の招集にしたいと思います。これで植樹祭挨拶を終わらせていただきます。
Sakura, Sakura, yayoi no sora wa miwatasu kakiri, kasumi ka kumo ka, niyoi zo izuru. Isaiah, Isaiah, mini yukan. Sakura, Sakura, yayoi no sora wa miwatasu kakiri. Sakura, Sakura, yayoi no sora wa miwatasu kakiri. Kasumi ka kumo ka, niyoi zo izuru. Isaiah, Isaiah, mini yukan. Sakura, Sakura.
Deputy Mayor, Chair of Governors, friends, because that's what you all are. I'm absolutely delighted to be here this lunchtime with Sarah as the Honorary Consul for Japan here in Wales, and also as the President of all the consuls in Wales. There are some 27 consuls representing various countries around the world. But today is a very special occasion because today we're going to be planting the very first cherry tree here in Monmouthshire to schools in Wales. And I'm delighted to do that with colleagues. I also think we need to think about that Wales and Japan has a very strong tie and tradition. We can trace the history between Wales and Japan back over 100 years, when the miners, with the excellent coal that we were producing, exported it to the ships for Japan to sail. And from that we've seen companies such as Toyota operating in North Wales who are working here, and we've also seen Panasonic and Sony and other Japanese companies that are operating in Wales, and some 6,500 people work for Japanese companies here in Wales. So we are a major employer, and Wales exports to Japan an awful lot of things as well. And I said to the Chair of Governors, do you know what Wales actually sends to Japan? What do we export? Anyone any ideas? Teachers can have a go as well. Okay, if you don't ask me, I'll ask you. So anyone want to say what they think we export to Japan from Wales? Look, they're rushing away. Well, shall I tell you then? Jam. Can you believe it? We export jam to Japan. Welsh water, Penderyn, and quite a lot of seaweed. They eat seaweed. So there's an awful lot of things that we export to Japan, which are very much welcome and received. And we in turn have a lot of Japanese things that are here today. So I just want to say to you all a huge thank you to Chepstow for being one of the first schools here in Wales to receive the trees. There's over 5,000 trees being planted in the next 18 months all over the UK, including in royal parks, and in Wales, they're being planted in the cities of Wales. Newport is just about to have some, Cardiff, even up in North Wales as well, that we're planting trees. And it's an act of symbol of friendship that exists between our two nations. And I hope the future generations of Chepstow teacher will think about what's that cherry tree mean, and we can look back and say a very special occasion of confirming our friendship. And our thanks to you as well for reading that excellent welcome in Japanese, and I'm grateful to you for doing that. So that's enough from me, and just to say thank you all very much for giving up your time, and a huge thank you to the choir and to all involved, and especially to Mrs. Mellings today, who's organised this along with others, and also everybody else has prepared this. It doesn't just happen. Thank you very much for making this occasion so special. Jaffa.
Thank you very much.
In a blentyn of y manwes, rydach hanes ydw hon, breichiau mam sy'n dim amdanat, cariad mam sy'n dan fy mron. Ni chaeth dim am arwydd gan ti, ni rhaid dim a
Harry Shibb.
Hina blentyn a fy manwes, Ryd a chenes ydw hon. Breichiau mam sy'n dim amdanat, cariad mam sy'n dan fy mron. Ni chaeth dim am arif gan ti, ni rhaid dim a ddigam. Hi'n adawel anodd lentyn, hi'n anfoena bron dy fam. Hi'n adawel heno hina, hi'n anfoena to seilin. Pam yr oedran awr yn gwely, gwenin dirion yn dehun. Ai angelion, rhys sy'n gwenu, yna ti yn gwenillon. Tithau'n gwenu o dan hino, hi'n ardawel a fy bron. Paid ag ofni, dim ond eilen, hir ag ira ar y ddôn. Paid ag ofni, tôn fach unig, sia lan y ddôn. Hi'n a blentyn, nid oes yma, ddim i roddi i ti frawd.
Just thank you to all the staff that have managed to put this together today, and the staff actually behind the scenes. We'll invite you in a moment for from some little nibbles, but there's been a lot of thought and a lot of work that's gone behind this, particularly Shanta, Mr. Lizelle, been absolutely brilliant. The choir, this is the first time for a long time now that the school have actually put on an event, if you consider the pandemic. And if this is the standard moving forward, as your head teacher, I'm delighted. You've done a fantastic job, children. Really, really impressive. I think all of us have been really impressed with what you've done. Okay? That's the standard. And you know I had a moan earlier this week, okay? But that's the standard, and we'll keep to that standard. So well done, everybody. And thank you, everybody, for coming along and, again, supporting what we've done today. This is a symbolism of relationships between two countries, and I said at the beginning through my speech, it's the relationship with the community and how valuable the community is, and the school being central to all of that and all that we do. So thank you, everybody, for supporting us today, and onwards and upwards.
Kasubika kumok